Welcome to BMU. This video is about travel to Europe to visit 25 best places. Europe is a continent that needs a significant amount of time in order to properly explore. Most of us can only afford a few weeks of vacation every year, so we have to be selective about where we travel and what we visit. There are countless must-see destinations in Europe. Let's limit down the options by region or interest. Now that we can reach Europe in a matter of hours rather than the weeks it took our ancestors, we may easily return to see the continent's many attractions again and again. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Number 1. Vienna. Austria's magic city is Vienna. This city conjures visions of elegant women dancing to Strauss waltzes. Beautiful white Lipizzaner dance around a ring in this city. It's a location where you'll ditch your diet for Sachertor. Wander the scenic old town, see the opulent Baroque Schönbrunn Palace, the medieval St. Stephen's Cathedral, or the Imperial Holberg Palace. Number 2. Stonehenge. Stonehenge shows prehistoric man's determination. Built on burial sites in 3000 BC. Several hundred years later, 25-ton monoliths were hauled 240 kilometers to the location. Unknown how many huge rocks were hauled to a field near Amesbury, but 13 remain. Stonehenge's purpose is unknown, but many assume it was related to astrology. Number 3. Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is Italy and Switzerland's natural pyramid. This prominent mountain is 4,478 meters, 14,692 feet, high. The mountain has 4 rugged faces. Since its initial ascent in 1865, 150 climbers a day attempt this iconic peak. Couch potatoes may be content to watch the summit hide in the clouds from below. Number 4. Plitvice Lakes. Officials made Plitvice Lakes a national park because they're so gorgeous. Plitvice Lakes in central Croatia attracts more than 1 million visitors annually. The lakes are joined by waterfalls that cascade from one to another. The lakes are split into lower and upper by elevation. The best way to explore the lakes is on foot. You may see wildlife. Number 5. Budapest. Budapest was formed when Hungarians took over in the 9th century. Hungary's capital and largest city is Budapest. In between, Mongols and Ottomans governed Budapest. Budapest, one of Europe's most attractive cities, has a museum with more than 100,000 pieces. Old town's museums, cathedrals, palaces, and parliament building are strategically positioned. Number 6. Lisbon. Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, is located on the Tagus River, which runs parallel to the Atlantic Ocean. This place is what inspired explorers throughout the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries to go on long, dangerous voyages around the world. The Bullem Tower, a stronghold built in the 16th century on the northern bank of the Tagus, is one of the attractions you shouldn't miss. São Jorge Castle, constructed by the Moors on a mountaintop, provides excellent panoramas of the city below. Number 7. Gullfoss. There presumably aren't many individuals you know who have visited Iceland. However, the stunning Gullfoss waterfalls might make the journey worthwhile. One of Iceland's most visited sites, Gullfoss is situated in the country's southern region. There are moments when it looks like a glacier, which is fitting given that a glacier is the source of its water. Number 8. Athens. Democracy was born at Athens, a city that has been occupied continuously since the 5th century BC. Given that it is the political and cultural center of Greece and ancient Europe, this city is a must-see. The historic district, especially the area around the Acropolis, is home to many of the city's most notable attractions. Temple of Zeus, Theater of Dionysus, where Sophocles' plays were staged, Hadrian's Arch, the city's symbolic entry, and the Parthenon, atop the Acropolis, are all on the list. Number 9. Bay of Kotor. If stunning views are what you're after, make your way to Kotor Bay in southern Montenegro. This port on the Adriatic Sea is picture perfect, with its surrounding mountains and clusters of charming settlements nestled into the cliffs above the Azure Sea. Several medieval settlements that have been meticulously preserved may be seen around the bay. Many visitors come to the area on religious pilgrimages to worship at one of the 200 Orthodox churches or 100 Christian chapels dotted across the villages. Number 10. Moscow. Moscow, the capital of Russia for over 900 years, is located at the very center of both Russia and Eastern Europe. Because of this, there is a lot for tourists to do and see in this ancient city. Considering that many of the city's most famous landmarks cluster around it, the 15th century Red Square is a good place to begin our exploration. The Kremlin, a historic stronghold that now contains museums and the office of the Russian president, is a major tourist attraction. Located in the center of the square stands Lenin's tomb, while on one side is the now Museum St. Basil's Cathedral, known for its distinctive onion dome. Number 11. Venice. You can't travel to Venice and not enjoy a gondola ride along the Grand Canal while listening to an Italian tenor serenade his passenger. Remember, it was from this same city that Marco Polo set off on his expedition to China. San Marco Square is the ideal starting point for any visit to Venice. Doge's Palace, Venetian government's official residence, and St. Mark's Basilica, the city's most prominent church, both call this area home. Number 12. Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo, the capital of the small Principality of Monaco, has all the glamour one could want. Monaco's reputation for these things skyrocketed when the prince made Grace Kelly his princess. Monte Carlo, situated on the coast of the Mediterranean, is renowned for its high-end casino and fast-paced auto racing. Take a stroll down the waterfront and you'll see megayachts and other watercraft belonging to the affluent and famous. Number 13. Alhambra. One of Spain's greatest attractions is the Alhambra. Beautiful palace and fortification complex in the southern Spanish region of Andalusia. This enormous structure started life as a tiny fortification in the late 9th century, however it was erected on the foundations of a prior Roman garrison. Number 14. Florence. It's possible that the Renaissance wouldn't have taken place if not for Florence. Michelangelo and other painters from Florence are often credited with helping to drag Europe out of the Middle Ages. The original David is housed at the Accademia, and their works may be seen at the Uffizi, the finest gallery in Florence. Number 15. London. The city of London is a paradise for history nerds of the English language. From Buckingham Palace to Hampton Court Palace, this city on the Thames is packed of opulent residences fit for kings and queens. The royal jewels are kept at the Tower of London, which is more of a jail than a palace. Number 16. Neuschwanstein Castle. Neuschwanstein Castle, situated in the Bavarian Alps, is a perfect example of the aforementioned fairy tale castle description. Some have speculated that Disney's Sleeping Beauty's castle, also a 19th century Romanesque revival structure, was inspired by Neuschwanstein. Number 17. Amsterdam. The city of Amsterdam is characterized by its lovely canals and its tall, thin row buildings. The city is most famous as the home of Anne Frank, who maintained her famous diary there. Great art can be found all across this Venice of the North, from the Rijksmuseum, which houses European treasures, to the home of Rembrandt and the contemporary Van Gogh Museum. Number 18. Prague. Despite its tragic past, Prague is now one of Europe's top tourist destinations. Although most of the city was destroyed during World War II, Prague's old town is still beautiful and well worth seeing. Walking about Prague is a pleasure because to the city's many pedestrian zones, which include the areas around Prague Castle, the Jewish Quarter, St. Vitus Cathedral, and Charles Bridge. Wenceslas Square in the new town is a hub of activity and excitement late at night. Number 19. Istanbul. The capital of Turkey is an interesting site to visit because of its long history, vibrant marketplaces, and beautiful mosques. Europe and Asia are separated by the Bosporus, and top attractions include the ecumenical Hagia Sophia, a former Greek Orthodox Christian church, then an imperial mosque, and now a museum, and Topkapi Palace, a palace built in the 15th century and now a museum. Number 20. Geiranger. If the heat of a European summer has you down, take refuge in Norway's breathtakingly refreshing landscapes. Geirangerfjord is a fjord that extends for 15 kilometers, 9.3 miles, and is filled with azure waters fed by magnificent waterfalls. Taking a vehicle ferry through the fjord and seeing all the little towns along the way is a great way to experience the area. Number 21. Barcelona. In the modern day, the city of Barcelona, which was originally founded by the Romans, is a thriving port on the Mediterranean. Given its status as Catalonia's capital, it's a major player in the Mediterranean. Perhaps its most distinctive feature is the abundance of Antoni Gaudí-designed structures. Among these famous buildings is the one that has been under construction since 1892, the Church of La Sagrada Familia. Number 22. Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik isn't huge, especially when compared to other European capitals, but that shouldn't stop you from visiting. With a population of just 43,000, this city is one of the Mediterranean's most popular tourist destinations. Number 23. Santorini. Santorini, an island in the Aegean, is the perfect destination for unwinding and taking it easy. The best travel publications agree that this is a must-see place, and after visiting, you'll see why. The island is home to picturesque towns, an active volcano, and breathtaking sunsets. Number 24. Paris. Although the city is often sung to be at its best in the spring, Paris is fascinating year-round. This metropolis is bursting at the seams with noteworthy landmarks, museums, galleries, restaurants, and boutiques. You should definitely check out the Eiffel Tower while you're in Paris. One of the world's finest art collections may be found at the Louvre. Great churches like Sacred Heart and Notre Dame may be found there. The Palace of Versailles is synonymous with luxury because of its stunning hall of mirrors. Number 25. Rome. The Romans set up colonies as far afield as the island of Great Britain. But they didn't forget to construct impressive landmarks in their own city either. The Colosseum is a famous building that was once used for gladiator fights and can now house up to 80,000 visitors. Even if you don't believe in God, you should visit the Vatican City and its stunning St. Peter's Basilica to witness works by Michelangelo. You may try to catch one of Pope Francis' Wednesday audiences in the hopes of seeing him. Thanks for watching.